Good morning, world. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending on where you are on this fast forward planet, which in the United States is getting into overdrive tumult mode ahead of an election that it's hard to imagine won't be contested. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, although the transmission is slowing. There will be surges, as there are, especially on a lot of college campuses right now. And there's a lot of fire in the West. And there's an extraordinary hurricane season in the Atlantic so far. It's been misses in terms of real calamity. We've had bad impacts on some important communities in the Gulf Coast. Today is our No Talking Heads hashtag song and story swap, and it is Labor Day weekend, so we're going to focus on work. I've got some wonderful people, friends lined up here. You can see Karen Brooks and Melissa Ortquist and David Ross in the studio. I'm going to show a tune with some with some archival images to start things off. It's a tune I wrote a number of years ago when a bandmate, Jerry Krennick, mentioned that his great-grandfather died in a very strange way in a coal mine.
Blackbird sits on our windowsill in a cage of twigs and twine. My sweet Marie says she'll never set it free. I'll tell you the reason why. I'll tell you the reason why. One morning as we woke before the dawn, a fluttering sound we heard, circling round our kitchen lamp. There came that dreadful bird. There came that dreadful sweet Marie grabbed hold of me, said, don't go to the mine when a blackbird flies before the dawn. By dusk someone will die. By dusk someone will die. Well, I said, my dear, please have no fear. I'll be home by supper time. But a cold car crushed the life from me in the darkness of that mine. In the darkness of that death, why'd you come for me before it was my time? You took me from my family, left nothing but tears behind, left nothing but tears behind. My sweet Marie, she caged that bird so no one else will hear the flutter of black wings at dawn. No one should know that fear. No one should know that fear. Why'd you come for me before it was nothing but tears behind. Left nothing but tears behind.
Wow, that was amazing.
That was amazing because of Mark Murphy and Ken Veltz and Joe Johnson, who had recorded it. That was it was me solo, and Bruce Molsky did the fiddling. So
Yeah.
that was added later by Joe Johnson in his little Beacon studio, and it
Is
just
that
felt
your
like a,
song?
yeah. I wrote that.
Is that your song?
I wrote that
Great
about
song.
12, 13 years ago, maybe more. Gosh. It's the song drew out of Jerry Krennic's great grandfather's experience. It was late 20s, coal miner in Pennsylvania. Bird flew in the house in the morning. The wife said, "Don't go to the mine. It's a bad omen." And he went and died. So it's that simple. And so today's show is about mainly focused on songs of working people. Virtually every worker is essential in some way or other. And we're kind of going to focus on that on Labor Day. And unionization has been a benefit to and a boon to the world. So much of what we think of as the public health system, an essential aspect of everything going on in the world right now is public health. And we don't think about it. And it's not just the doctors, it's not just the vaccines, it's every functional aspect of getting people the care they need, from home care to hospital care. And you think about that in the food system, it goes from the people picking the food to the workers in the factories. And there is investment involved. Finance matters. Finance that cares for the people who actually do the work is an essential part of going forward. And it's just great to have good friends here. Hopefully we've had some echoey problems last week, and hopefully we're not hearing those now publicly. If you are, post a comment in the comment string out there in the internet space. Let us know if the sound sounds okay. And good morning again to Karen Brooks and Melissa Ortquist. Melissa, are you up in Massachusetts with Karen? Where are you guys?
She can't hear because I've got the
Yeah,
headphones.
just
Yes,
tell
she's
her-
up in Massachusetts. Yes.
Yeah.
She came up yesterday.
How are
and,
things? How are things on the farm?
Say,
How are
oh,
things
it's hard
on
to
the
share
farm?
headphones. Okay,
That's
that
okay.
doesn't work. Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't hear. I know. I guess that's next time we'll have a splitter.
How are
I'm
things
sorry.
on the farm?
Things are busy, very busy. I'm a workaholic and physically able to do it, which is I'm really pleased. And this 11-year-old helper I have is an ace.
An
I'm
11-year-old.
He is an ace, and I've put in 6 piers, dug holes, poured concrete. I did those, and he lugged me the bags. I mean, it was just awesome. And so it's good, all good. And Melissa's we're going to be down below today, what I call down below in the knoll. The terminal moraine created a knoll.
That's pretty
And,
cool.
yeah, and we're putting up a cabin. My son's coming from Portland, Oregon on Friday with his bride, and that's what we're going to be doing.
Oh, wonderful.
Did I see a grandchild, like a new grandchild somewhere on
I
Facebook
have
or
a
somewhere?
grandchild, but yes, he's not on Facebook. Maybe there's one
Oh, I
picture.
thought I saw,
but
maybe it was not you, but I thought I saw someone just had, maybe it was another friend of mine who's,
maybe another friend. Yeah, no,
It
I
might
have a
have been.
grandchild. I don't get to see him, unfortunately. But yeah, but that'll
All
be
right.
another story. So
and David Ross in Beacon, New York, my good friend, and such a
can't hear.
great musical presence
Things are
as
good
well.
here.
How are you doing?
Things are good here. We're getting ready for the beginning of the school year. My graduate program work begins on Tuesday with a group of students, half of whom are in Asia. So it means I do my class at 8 o'clock at night on Zoom, and it's 8 in the morning for them.
Wow.
But it's good that we're moving ahead and that there are people who are not backing away from this moment and are just learning how to deal with the new normal, which sadly is the new normal. And there's no point in pissing and moaning about it. We just have to dig down and figure out how we're going to manage it and make the most of it.
That's right. And it's, I think it's sunk into people that this is a path, it's a one-way street we're on in time. You know, we can't go back. Some things are emergent and are not fixable problems per se. Even, no matter who was in the White House, there would have been some level of pandemic as this disease emerged. It's a novel pathogen. People have never experienced it. There's no immunity. It was going to spread. The outcomes are so much in our individual power now. This is one of the weird things about today. This event, unlike global warming, is that community level action can really make a really big difference on mitigating the spread of this pathogen. And that's one of the challenges. We live in a very variegated country. We're not Sweden. We're not Norway. It's a lot harder to do things here. So, David, what's on your musical mind this morning?
Well, I was being Labor Day. I thought I would a couple songs come to mind. The first one is one of my favorite Dylan songs called "Working Man Blues," number 2. Goes something like this. There's an evening hay sailing over town, starlight by the edge of the creek. The buying power of the proletariat's gone down, money's getting shallow and weak. Well, the place I love best is a sweet memory. It's a new path that we trod. They say low wages are reality if we want to compete abroad. My cruel weapons I had put on a shelf. Come and sit down on my knee. Dear to me than myself, as you yourself can see. While I'm listening to the steel rails hum, got both eyes tied shut. Just sitting here trying to keep the hunger from creeping its way to my gut. Well, meet me at the bottom, don't lag behind. Bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line, but sing a little bit of these working men. Well, I'm sailing on back, ready for the long haul, tossed by the winds of the sea. I drag him down to hell and I stand him at the wall and I sell him to my enemy. I'm trying to feed my soul with thought, going to sleep off the rest of the day. Some people talk no one wants what we got, sometimes you can't give it away. Now my place is ringed with countless foes, some of them made deaf and dumb. No man, no woman knows the hour that the sorrow will come. Well, in the dark I hear a night bird's call. I can feel a lover's breath. I sleep in the kitchen with my feet in the hall. Sleep is like a temporary death. Well, meet me at the bottom, don't lag behind. Bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line, but sing a little bit of these working men. Well, they burned my barn and they stole my horse. I can't save a dime. I gotta be careful, I don't want to be forced into a life of continual crime. I can see for myself that the sun is sinking, how I wish that you were here to see. Tell me now, am I wrong in thinking that you have forgotten me? Now they worry and they hurry and they fuss and they fret, they waste your nights and days. If I will forget, but you I'll remember always. Oh, memories of you to me have clung. You wounded me with your words. Gonna have to straighten out your tongue. It's all true, everything you heard. Well, meet me at the bottom, don't lag behind. Bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line. Sing a little bit of these working men. When you, my friend, I find no blame, why not look in my eyes, please do. No one can ever claim that I took upon to give as you. All across these peaceful, sacred fields, they will lay you low. They'll break your horns and they'll slash you with steel. I say it's so, it must be so. Now I'm down on my luck, I'm black and blue, I'm gonna give you another chance. I'm all alone and I'm expecting you to lead me home in a cheerful dance. I got a brand new suit and a brand new wife. I can live on rice and beans. Some people never work a day in their life and don't know what work even means. So meet me at the bottom, don't lag behind. Bring me my boots and shoes. You can hang back or fight your best on the front line. Sing a little bit of these working man. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
That's a nice song. I'm trying to remember who wrote that.
Dylan.
Man, what has not he wrote? What has
He's
he
got a
not
good
written?
range.
What has not he
He's got a
wrote?
good range.
What
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that song, and I love that just that little refrain. You know.
Yeah. I see Patrick Jones is in the green room, but he's coming on in a little bit.
Did that
Dean,
sound better
Dean-
this week,
Dean- my-
Andy? I've got a different mic hooked up.
I don't know. We have to figure this out offline. It's still a little muddy. There was a better setup you had before, when you were further in the back there in the studio.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe Patrick can come over at some point. You can.
Well, because I'm recording off of the same setup, and the recording sounds great.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Very weird. Anyhow,
So Karen and Melissa, what's going on musically on the farm? What do you have in mind for us this morning? Oh, did I?
Yep, you got me
sorry.
muted. That's okay.
Now you're good.
This is a song that
never-
Bev Grant wrote. And it's a wonderful, it seems so appropriate right now. So I'm going to put the headphones back in so I won't be able to hear you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We have plowed, we have planted, we have gathered into barns, done the same work as the men, with babies in our arms. But you won't find our stories in most history books you read. We were there, we're still here, fighting for the things we need. We were there in the factories, we were there in the mills, we were there in the mines and came home to fix the meals. We were there on the picket lines, we raised our voices loud. Makes me proud just knowing we were there. From the textile mills in Lawrence to the sweatshops in New York, from the fields in California where our children had to work. We fought to make a living, bread and roses was our cry. Though they jailed and beat our bodies, our spirits never died. We were there in the factories, we were there in the mills, we were there in the mines and came home to fix the meals. We were there on the picket lines, we raised our voices loud. Makes me proud just knowing we were there. We were Polish, we were Irish, we were African and Jew, Italian and Latina, Chinese and Russian too. They tried to use our differences to split us all apart. But the pain we felt together touched the bottom of our hearts. We were there in the factories, we were there in the mills, we were there in the mines and came home to fix the meals. We were there on the picket lines, we raised our voices loud. We were proud just knowing we were there. We are teachers, we are doctors, we are cooks and engineers, letter carriers, truck drivers, conductors and cashiers. We operate machinery, we fly the big airplanes, and we help to build our unions. We got struggle in our veins. We were there in the factories, we were there in the mills, we were there in the mines, then came home to cook the meals. We were there on the picket lines, we raised our voices loud. Makes me proud just knowing we were there. We were there in the factories, we were there in the mills, we were there in the mines and came home to fix the meals. We were there on the picket lines, we raised our voices loud. Makes me proud just knowing we were there. It makes me proud just knowing we were there.
Beautiful.
Did that come through, or was it all buffered?
It was perfect on my end. I see Reggie Harris.
You're muted.
I'm muted. Oh no, I'm not.
You're muted.
I'm not muted.
Andy, you're muted.
I'm looking at my. I don't think so.
Oh.
You don't hear me? Hey, folks out in the real world, can you hear me right now? Reggie said yes. It may be on your end, Karen. I'm not sure. Reggie just gave me a thumbs up. That was a spectacular song. David Ross, it looks like you're trying your other setup. Yeah, the audience is saying lovely, and they're hearing everything. So we're going to keep moving forward. I'm actually going to bring Reggie Harris in a little bit early. Reggie, if that's okay, I didn't want to shock you. And in a minute, we have the next round coming too. Karen, can you hear me now, or you're not hearing me? I don't know. Something happened on the farm. We could hear Karen wonderfully. That's the key part.
That's a great song.
That is a great song.
Can you hear me now, Andy? Is it better?
David, it's actually not better. I will have to work on that going forward. David, can you sing one more tune before we get into the next half hour? But I don't know what the problem is. It's like we're not hearing the output that is not your main output.
Yeah, it's odd. Well, I'm going to try to sing a classic song from the Almanac Singers, I Don't Want Your Millions, Mister.
Yeah.
I don't want your millions, mister. I don't want your diamond. All I want is the right to live, mister. Give me back my job again. Now I don't want your Rolls Royce. I don't want your million. All I want is food for my baby. Give me my own comeback. We work to build this country. I don't want your diamond ring. All I want is the right to business. Give me back my job again. Well, keep me dumb. Give me a mission. Call me green or blue or red. There's one thing I sure know this. My hungry baby's must be fed. Take the old part is missing. No difference in them can I see. But with a farmer labor party, we could set the people free. So I don't want your millions. No, I don't want your diamond ring. All I want is right to live this. Give me back my job again. All I want is right to live this. Give me back my job again. Andy, I can't hear you. You're muted. No,
Yeah, I am muted, and now I'm unmuted. No, I was saying, David, that is a great song.
did it come out okay?
Yeah, we'll have to go back to your computer during the next round and look to see if you log out and check the little box that says Disable Audio Processing when you check your mic settings.
Okay.
And we'll see if that makes it better.
All right.
Great to have you here.
Hey, good to see you, Reggie.
And let me see. Oh, Reggie, you were muted. I muted you, Reggie.
I was saying, good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, David.
Oh, God, I missed that.
And I think I see, let's see here. Man, Dean, here we go. Dean Friedman in the house. This is an exciting little reunion. Dean, I still have a chair of yours sitting here from one of our backyard sessions from like 20 years ago.
I do recall. Well, I hope you've been putting it to good use.
Yeah, we just used it yesterday visiting my dad, my 92-year-old dad at his nursing home, sitting outside on the lawn. So that chair is
good to see you, man.
It's
Hey,
good to
Reggie.
see you. Do you know
Hey,
Reggie?
David.
I figured you might know Reggie.
Hi, Dean.
And David
we
Ross.
never met, but I don't think. But nice to see everybody.
Hey, Dean.
And Karen, sorry, let's see if Karen is doing better. Ooh, let's see. Karen, can you hear me now? You're muted. Everybody scream.
But it worked. I know. I signed off and signed back in, and then I could hear you.
All
But
right.
we have to leave because my 11-year-old helper's coming. But do we have time to do one more quick song before we go? Because otherwise, this is it for us. I'm sorry.
Sneak it in. Yes, for sure.
Okay,
We
all
can
right.
never get enough
And,
songs from the farm.
Okay, so we're gonna do a song that
And-
you know.
Claudia Gibson is in the house too. Let's just have a quick hello from Claudia, who's come in on the next half hour. Hello,
not
Claudia.
muted.
Claudia,
That's
yay.
okay.
I'll mute.
It's party time. And now
Sorry
let's all
to do this.
and now let's
Sorry
all
to do this, buddy.
No. Let's all mute so they can fit in one more tune, and we'll get moving forward.
It's a mighty hard road that these poor hands have pulled. These poor feet have traveled a hot, dusty road. Out of your dust bowl and westward we roamed. Your deserts were hot and your mountains were cold. We've worked in your orchards of peaches and prunes, slept on the ground by the light of the moon. And the edge of your city, you'll see us, and then we come with the dust and we go with the wind. California, Arizona, we made all your crops. Then it's north up to Oregon to gather your hops. Dig the beets from the field, pick your grapes from the vine, to set on your table this light, sparkling wine. Green pastures of plenty from dry desert ground, from the Grand Coulee Dam where the waters run down. Every state in this union us migrants have been, and we'll work in this fight, and we'll fight till we win. Well, it's always we ramble this river and I. All along your green valleys I will work till I die. This land I'll defend with my life if it be, for my pastures of plenty must always be free. Thank you.
Particularly beautiful being sung from a farm.
And where we're at
You know,
with farm workers.
It's so great to hear you guys
It's-
singing in harmony. I miss the Trouble Sisters. We need some trouble here in Beacon.
Yeah, we
Thank
do.
you so much.
Good trouble.
Now we
All
got
right.
to go do farm work.
Go to it. That's work that never stops. Cows don't just say, I'm not going to produce milk today. Take care. Big hug.
Bye-bye.
Wow. It's always so much fun.
That really is. It's great to hear them.
There's a bit of an echo now.
Yeah, there is.
Wow, where did that come from?
Oh, my goodness.
Let's see.
Does that change it? Does that change anything?
Yeah, way better. Whatever you just did, David. But now I hear it. Wow.
Does that change it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's just get to it and make sure everyone
Now you don't
mutes
hear
in between, okay? So, good morning again. We have a wonderful David. If you can hang back a little bit now for a bit, and you can come back later, that'd be cool.
Sure.
Our round right now, we have Reggie Harris from up in the Catskills. Yes, are you at home?
I'm a little above the Catskills. I'm actually.
Yeah, I
in
guess
the,
that's right.
I'm in the Helderbergs.
The Helderbergs.
Yeah.
All these places named for colonists of various. We got the Dutch. We got the.
We got the English. We got the.
The Hildebergs. Yeah.
All the colonizers. You know, it's.
Yeah.
We've got a really great land mass in the middle of our valley, and the Mohawks called it Inistagrawa, and but everybody calls it Corn Mountain or Vroman's Nose.
Romans. That says it all right there. 3 different names for the same feature of the landscape.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, and it's good to, one thing about music is, and we, through Patrick Jones, we've integrated a little bit of the spirit of indigenous communities here, but that's a vibe we have not yet really had in the foreground on this show, so we should, I'll work on that. And, but there's so many layers of history here. That song I wrote about the Hudson Valley is from tomahawks to cannon fire to mighty industries. These Hudson Highlands will endure when we are history. So, the landscape is what it is, and the humans are just this short little journey on it. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's been wild. So much going on. And,
I know.
Very fertile time and very frightening time. So I don't know.
I've been playing "We Will Not Rest" like regularly.
Oh,
It's such a beautiful song for this moment.
thank you. Yeah,
A lot of work.
Yeah, we do. And I was with a group yesterday. We had a Black Lives Matter rally. Oh, actually, it happens every Saturday. And yesterday's attendance was down because of Labor Day weekend, but it's so nice to see the intergeneral nature of it, and the Black Lives Matter, of course, in this area is being run by white people. So, I show up and they kind of go, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh boy.
But we had some students from the SUNY Cobleskill University here who came, and mix of generations, mix of perspectives. But we just stood and talked about a way forward, and
That's good.
Yeah, so
That's all we can do, and work for the way forward. Yeah. And
hi,
Dean
Claudia.
and Claudia.
Oh,
Yeah, I
sorry.
know. Well, Dean Friedman, I have not spoken to you in, I don't know, years. How are you
The same,
doing?
Andy.
You do too, and I was watching some of your live shows with puppets and all kinds of wacky stuff going on. I tweeted about that yesterday. What's your musical life like these days? I know you used to go to England every summer, or maybe even more than once, for these festivals. A big chunk of your audience came from your songs early in your career. Radio, McDonald's Girl and Ariel, and it sounds like that all resonated really, even in a bigger way, maybe over in the UK than here.
In a strange way, it did. I could never really account for it. But yeah, I was about to embark on a 40-city UK Ireland tour when all this happened.
Wow.
And so sort of scrambled to figure out what to do. And I started doing what you're doing now. I put up a camera and just started singing my songs and talking to the audience spread across the planet, and it was an adventure, not something I had anticipated or imagined at all. But then I just did the 22nd episode about a week ago, and it was kind of a blur, but really exciting, really fulfilling.
That's pretty
although
cool.
I just took a hiatus from the show because I got to finally dig in and focus on doing a new album, which I've been promising for months and months and months. So that's my mission for the next few months.
I'll show a clip from it in a minute, so you can. But maybe, do you have a song in mind? It's been so long since I've seen you. Let's start with you, Dean. And I see Andre Codrescu, our resident poet laureate for the pandemic, has joined us. And but Dean, if you have a song to share right now, that'd be awesome. Or a poem, or a puppet show.
Well, it's sort of tangentially related to the pandemic, if that's a sub theme here, which is let's see here. I think there was an article in one of the papers he used to write for Might Still about trying to figure out whether you're in a depression or just bored. And yet
You're talking about emotional, not depression, meaning economic.
Yeah, emotional.
Yeah. Okay.
But whichever it is, there's a point where you start to sort of come out of it, and so this song expresses just that. I was down for the count. I was out of commission. I was having a bad day. I was definitely in a precarious position. But if you ask me how I'm doing now, this is what I say. I say I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things. I'm actually looking forward to what tomorrow brings. Things are looking up, it's what the bluebird sings. I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things. I was feeling uninspired and so unmotivated. My get up and go was gone. And staring at the walls is just so overrated. So I finally got back out of bed to sing this song. Now I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things. I'm actually looking forward to what tomorrow brings. I don't mind getting up when the doorbell rings. I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things. Now every day that passes, I'm feeling just a little bit better. My outlook is significantly improved. You know, I never was a real go-getter. And now I feel I'm finally getting back in the groove, and I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things. I'm actually looking forward to what tomorrow brings. I took the time to change my ukulele strings. I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things. So if you're down in the dumps and your life is looking dreary, you're feeling unenthused and depressed, heed my advice, it's much more than just a theory. Take a shower, comb your hair, and get dressed, and you'll be slowly getting back into the swing of things. Actually looking forward to what tomorrow brings. Things are looking up, it's what the bluebird sings. I'm slowly getting back, slowly getting back, slowly getting back into the swing of things.
I love it. I love it. No Depression. There was a magazine called No Depression.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was an Americana folk music magazine, and that song is a good way to kick it. Depression is a real thing for many people, and it's a physical reality, but it's great to find pathways through it. And or we're all surrounded by that question right now of how do you wake up in the morning, get out of bed, and do the stuff you need to do, and a little bit more.
Grab a ukulele.
Yeah, we've actually had Donna Nestler on her boat 1 week ago was playing her ukulele on the boat live here on the show, and singing about the gum trees in Australia. So it's a fantastic instrument. Andre, again, hello to you.
Hi everybody. I missed you.
Yeah, we always miss you when you're not here. It's great that you've now got your own webcast going. I hope that's going well.
Right, it is. It is. It's almost 3 times a week, and it's short. It's 3 to 7 minutes, but I try to pack them up. I've been reading mostly, and I was able to escape from New York. And I'm actually in Connecticut, and I'm looking at trees, and I have friends here.
Right. Has that been an adjustment to wake up not hearing sirens? And
It is. Different soundtrack. It's lovely. But I was thinking about all the books I read, because I read so many books I used this time, and I just read a book by a young writer who lives in Brazil, and is reading a book, and a very strange bug lands on the book when she's reading it, and she closes the book and squashes the bug. And then she moves to New York, very close to where I live now, and starts to grow wings. They just come out of her. And I thought, how wonderful. And then, I couldn't wait to see what she does with these wings, because it's such a great opportunity now to have wings. And some guy shows up and takes her to a hospital, and it turns out to be just a psychotic episode. And I was so disappointed. To work so hard to give somebody wings and then just sort of make them a mental depression problem, that's a lack of imagination. At the same time, I read this fantastic book called Antkind by Charlie Kaufman. He's a filmmaker.
we just watched his new film last night, and we're all still kind of trying to wonder our way through. So the book must be similar.
His book is really worth reading, not only because he knows everything about movies, but he makes a book, words out of all the movies he knows, which is the reverse of how it's usually done, which is make a movie from a book. And it is quite extraordinary, He sort of captured the zeitgeist, in some amazing way. And it's the story of a raving comedian, really, who's criticized, who's posed as a movie critic, and he trashes his own movies. And it's really a great read, and it's only 700 plus pages.
Oh my God! All right,
I'm on page 658, and I keep going.
Wow!
But I think it's the last novel.
So we'll get a reading from you maybe in a minute. And I'd like to swing back to Reggie, if you have a song in mind today, this Labor Day weekend, Sunday morning.
I do. And it's so wonderful to see all of you all and be back in community. I have to give a shout out for this song to my friend Aileen Vance in California. She over the pandemic, she's been doing these song swaps every month, and has fueled some creativity with suggesting a topic. And the last one was food
Oh,
workers.
interesting.
And yeah, it was. It sent me to reading and to watching a couple of videos and documentaries, and this is what happened. I was reading an article on meatpacking plants and ramped up danger in the time of COVID-19, and not that they're not dangerous places all the time, but you know how something just jumps out at you. And I was reading this one article, and they were interviewing one of the workers, and she said, when we're dead and buried, our bones will still hurt every day. And I thought, oh, there's a song in there. So it's called My Working Bones. My day starts early, in the car by 5. Gotta be on the line by 6. Every day I got an hour to drive. Kiss the kids while they're sleeping, help them have a good day. I'm working at the plant to make the money, keep the wolves away. Punched in with Anita, best worker I know. She can hang with the bell when they speed it up, help the new ones find the flow. She makes sure we're ready, keeps us all aware. And when the worker goes down, it's Anita who's always there. If I could tell my story to the folks at the top, tell them how my bones hurt, how the pain won't stop, make them find a reason, help them understand how to show some mercy to workers like me across this land. It's a bad situation, but we got no choice. Mostly immigrants and people of color, no power, no status, no voice. They cut the inspections, now we work and we pray. And when we're dead and buried, our bones will still hurt every day. If I could tell my story to the folks at the top, tell them how my bones hurt, how the pain won't stop, help them find a reason, make them understand how to show some mercy to workers like me across this land. They spray chemicals that take our breath away, make us work when we're sick and tired, pump the hours, cut the pay. We get cut, stabbed, and battered every day. We race machines as our bodies make profits for their dreams. Every day so hard, still I live in fear. Someday they'll turn me out, I'll be old beyond my years. Can't open my thermos, I can't comb my hair. As long as that meat gets through the line, nobody seems to care. If I could tell my story to the folks at the top, tell them how my bones hurt, how the pain won't stop, and find a reason, make them understand how to show respect to workers like me across this land. If I could tell my story to the folks at the top, tell them how my bones hurt, how the pain won't stop. Season by season, gonna make a stand, try to get some rights for workers like me across this land. Get some rights for workers like me across this land. Tell my story.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So pass the word to Aileen, man. We should get
Oh,
her on here.
absolutely. I will.
Spread the
Yeah.
joy. I like these interlacing circles, and I'm hoping Claudia can do that with some of her friends in the songwriting circles that she is part of as well. And here you are,
Down
Wimberley.
here,
How's it going?
Wimberley, Texas. I think I know the last time you saw Dean, 'cause it might have been the last time I saw Dean. At, at the what was it, the Hamilton Fish Library in Cold
Gosh,
Spring.
golly,
Reading a
I
reading
think you
in
may be
for
right
your
about that.
book. Yeah.
Wow.
And then Dean and I went out for coffee. It was nice. Yeah. That's right.
It's kind of a
Somebody's-
nice
that-
little
that's
chime.
my
It's not
phone ringing,
mine.
is it? Somebody's phone is
Not
ringing.
mine.
Yeah.
I know.
Reggie, that was a
Okay.
beautiful song. And,
Not mine.
Claudia had mentioned the use of prompts in these songwriter circles. And I would like to do one of my Monday sessions sometime soon, which is basically just a general skill building session on how to communicate effectively. But I love the practice that songwriters have using a prompt, just a random
can
word
help,
or
yeah.
and then also the feedback and the group experience. I first felt that in depth was Jack Hardy down in the Village at his weekly fast folk sessions. I ended up writing a story for the New York Times on him and the spaghetti pot and the wine and the songs. And
Wow.
HVMA was one of those too, the Hudson Valley Music Association. So,
Oh, yeah.
musicians with it.
Wow.
So it's
Yeah.
cool. Having community can create. Claudia, do you have a tune in mind this morning? You've been contributing some wonderful pieces lately.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I do. I have, in fact, well, it was Labor Day, and I don't really have something for Labor Day. I'm going to turn up my earphones because it's always lower in my ears. But I was thinking of Woody Guthrie and about what it's like when you lose your work, and that was a large part of what he was writing about was people during the Depression who had no work, no homes, and were just wandering. So this is I Ain't Got No Home. I ain't got no home, I'm just a roaming round, just a wandering worker. I go from town to town. The police make it hard wherever I may go, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. My brothers and my sisters are stranded on this road, a hot and dusty road that a million feet have trod. The rich man took my home and he drove me from my door, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. Was farming on the shares, and always I was poor. My crops I lay into the banker's store. My wife took down and died upon the cabin floor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. A mind in your mind, and I gathered in your corn, and I've been working, mister, since the day that I was born. I worry all the time like I never did before, 'cause I ain't got no home in this world anymore. As I look around, it's mighty plain to see this world is such a great and a funny place to be. Oh, the gambling man is rich, the working man is poor, and I ain't got no home in this world anymore. No, I ain't got no home in this world anymore.
Beautiful. So I was not muted there for a second. I was starting to harmonize, and
I
hope it
heard.
didn't
I was like,
interfere.
somebody's humming.
Oh, I know. I
It's
just
like,
couldn't resist. That's the hardest thing still. I mean, I'm praying for bandwidth for everybody in the world more than anything, so we have an even landscape of opportunity, access to information. But I will say, as a musician, it would be cool to have high bandwidth so that we can jam live together and not worry
Well,
about
yeah.
feedback and
I hope
all that
those
stuff.
people at Jam Kazam get more money. So they've been working on the latency issue because
Yeah.
it's a big thing. So
There's a performer, Elias Isaacs, who's been trying to get in. Elias, if you can hear me, you're going to have to disconnect and come back in again. Your camera and mic are not working for some reason. Message to Elias. Hopefully that can get worked out. And I'm going to bring in our 11:30 guests now that we have the capacity to have more than. It used to be that it could only have a very limited number of screens available on StreamYard, and now it's much better. So I'm going to bring everyone in for a big hello before our transition.
Yeah, cool.
Oh, and we have another echo situation. Let's see if we can try. Oh, it's better. Is that okay for everybody?
Yeah, that works.
Peter Rayful, can you hear me? Peter, you're muted or something.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was my echo.
Yeah, we've had this a couple of times.
All right. I will continue to work on that, and I'll mute in the meantime.
Well, we could do it short code, like a Morse code way, over and out. We'll get you on in a second. We had Patrick Jones, Andrei Kodrescu. I asked you if you have a poem or a brief reading. That would be great to hear now from Connecticut.
It was so wonderful to hear songs I know, the golden hits. I just read from my workshop notes because I have my notepad with me, and so they're not finished in any way. But eventually they will be done. So these were the thoughts before I escaped New York, really. I never thought pessimism could be so soothing. Every word is a barricade. I wish we were speaking of peaches and apples. I have friends who grow them. Actually, they are here. I have the friends that made a wonderful dinner with locally grown stuff, and it was terrific. But I know that there will be shortages, but one thing that there won't be any shortages of is coincidences, because I noticed that coincidences are getting very numerous in this time. And for instance, I was reading a story, and there are these about a skill that's disappearing, I guess, very few people do, which is to collect sperm from race horses. And on the other room, my friend was reading a book on coincidence, and she was just at a chapter where the writer was writing about the exact same thing. And then I thought, that is the time for deciphering coincidences. It's almost like reading dreams, but the coincidences are interesting because, like dreams, they are multiplying. And so in the before times, in the plague, we had these defenses against coincidence, and one of them was called work, and another was drinks and company and lunch with friends, and another was just talking. And now during these plague times, when I was mostly alone, I have sort of lost my defense against coincidences, and so everything coincides. Everything seems right. It doesn't feel great, but it feels right. And is this consumer of time, because coincidence in the normal world and not the pandemic world paralyzes. But I think, when we discuss the weirdness of this connected universe, as if it were something new, is interesting to think of what coincidence is for the social animal. And my friends who I am speaking to are surprisingly thinking the same things. So our lives have become, in fact, postmodern, if not postmortem, that we haven't died, so things can look up, once we decipher why everything is so connected and coincident.
Yeah. We are all disconnected and connected. Oop, sorry.
Right. So this
Disconnected and connected at the same time.
exactly. And you know what? The fact that the connections reveal themselves at this point, and there's a future that will be very different, is something to make art from. And I haven't made art, but I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. So I'd like to circle back to Dean Friedman. And let's see here. Well, let me get back to our group chat. Oh, sorry. I had minimized the group.
Yeah, I was going to read you a biblio thing from a
Yeah?
book. A friend just handed me the I Ching, and I thought I would read it.
Oh, absolutely. I
Three
just
lines.
I was I was tweeting yesterday about your marvelous bibliomancy solution to all of life's problems.
Well,
Pick up a random book of poetry and turn to any page.
Here it is, and I open to gathering, and it says gathering leads to success.
Ah, that sounds like a fortune cookie.
Yes.
Gathering leads to success. There you go. Connectedness and constructive connectedness.
That was the answer.
Yeah, we're moving into the 11:30 hour, but I'd love it if anyone who can hang out can hang out. I'm going to add David Ross back in here too, and Patrick Jones, you're here as well. Great to see you, and Peter Rafel, and Georgetown University-ish area of. You're in Virginia, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I live in the Northern Virginia suburbs, but I work at Georgetown Climate Center, which is down at the law school by Union Station in D.C., although I work right here for the foreseeable future.
Andy, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Here we go. Bump it up. I was muted. Yeah. Anyway, it was Peter was new to this circle a week or so ago, along with Dan Ramey, and both of you kind of blew us away. But before we move to the next round, I'd love to get Dean one more bit of musical madness from Dean Friedman.
Sure.
And when's your next show?
Well, I have an all-request Zoom concert on Sunday, September 27th. It's on my website, deanfriedman.com, and it's a Zoom event, so it's like here we got all these faces on StreamYard. You know Zoom. So
right.
It's just as noisy.
It's all fun, though.
I foolishly forgot that it was Labor Day. That tells you how a musician views work. But this is an appropriate song, I would think, for Labor Day. And it's called It's My Job. Everybody wonders just what is it that I do. They scratch their heads and speculate, but they don't have a clue. Though I may seem unemployed, that's not exactly true. I do some part-time work, but honey, my main job is loving you. It's my job to make you happy. It's my job to make you smile. It's my job to take you in my arms and hold you for a while. It's my job to make you feel good, and I'm never gonna stop. Well, it's my job to love you, honey, and I love my job. Well, I went to my accountant to do my taxes like you do. When he asked my occupation, I filled in, loving you. Well, I'm suited to my vocation, just like good old Captain Kirk. And I never will retire, 'cause I'm addicted to my work. It's my job to make you happy. It's my job to make you smile. It's my job to take you in my arms and hold you for a while. It's my job to protect you from the littlest raindrop. Well, it's my job to love you, honey, and I love my job. Well, I never finished high school, but I found a fine career. The money's not that good, but honey, that's not why I'm here. 'Cause 'Cause where else could I spend all my time whispering sweet nothings in your ear? And if I never get paid a penny, honey, I'll still volunteer. It's my job to make you happy. It's my job to make you smile. It's my job to take you in my arms and hold you for a while. It's my job to make you feel good, and I'm never gonna stop. Well, it's my job to love you, honey, and I love my job. Well, the terms of my employment are quite favorable, it's true, with benefits and bonuses like spending time with you. And I never have to worry about things like job security. 'Cause as long as I keep loving you, you'll keep loving me. It's my job to make you happy. It's my job to make you smile. It's my job to take you in my arms and hold you for a while. It's my job to make you feel good, and I'm never gonna stop. Well, it's my job to love you, honey, and I love my job. Yes, it's my job to love you, honey, and I love my job. Yes, it's my job to love you, honey, and I love my job.
But we love your job too. That's just great. What a nice tune.
Still
Sweet.
muted. Everybody's muted.
No, actually, I'm.
No, we're not.
Put a smile on my face.
This is so
Dean.
funny.
Put a smile on my face.
Oops.
We're here.
Oh no, it's my earpiece. Sorry about
Hey.
that. Silly me.
And we do have that echo back again.
That's from David's. Yeah,
Darn.
there you go.
Okay, good. What a wonderful group of folks. I just wish we could all be in the same room at the same time. Just dissolve those little weird digital black barriers between the, just ping, and then there we are, you know. Unfortunately, not quite yet. Although David Ross, you know, I do think I got to grow up. Maybe we can try to do this from one space. At least a couple of us who are safe, you know, at a distance in a backyard. We can start to make a difference here. To have some of us actually together, like Karen and Melissa were. Patrick Jones over there in Beacon. How are you doing, man? You have to unmute yourself, I think.
Yes. I've been practicing good internet etiquette over here. Hey,
How are you
everybody.
doing?
How you doing? Yeah. Well, I sent you a picture just a few minutes ago. I ran downstairs and got some coffee. I live on Main Street in Beacon, and I sent you a picture on the phone because I live across the street from the M&T Bank.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a garbage can right directly across the street from the M&T Bank, and it's filled with a garbage can full of empty bottles and cans that somebody put there for somebody to pick up and collect to get a couple of cents. There's a couple, Hispanic couple that I see walking up and down the street here, you know, that dress in their finest clothes. They dress up and they go from garbage can to garbage can picking up the bottles that started happening during the pandemic. So,
Patrick, Claudia just messaged you might try to lower your gain or your volume or something a tiny bit.
thanks, Claudia. You're the sound man. I did sound for you, so
Yeah. Just a touch.
how about that? Yeah, is that better?
Yeah, you're just overloading a little bit.
Yeah, just thanks. Yeah.
So what you got?
Well, anyway, I'm going to do a song that was kind of requested by a couple of people. You know, one of the greatest things about Breakneck Ridge and being in Breakneck Ridge is that there's a lot of cross fertilization of people and suggestions and ideas. And I think it was either Andy or somebody told me that Andy wanted to do it, but it's called Banks Are Made of Marble. It's a good old.
It's a wonderful tune.
Standby. Yeah.
And in a way, it's a bit of a memoriam to our friend Dan Einbender, who I think about every Memorial Day, who used to sing all these great songs.
Yeah, he really did, and it's a powerful song for me. You know, I had was in a relationship with somebody that lived at Columbus Circle, so I would walk out and see Trump Tower just about every day, 4 days a week. And I've done the Christmas party for Goldman Sachs, and there were people there that I met 20 years ago that are in the news right now. And well, it is kind of true. There
I'm
are
showing
some.
I'm showing a picture of our old gang, and there's Dan over at the left side.
Yeah. Oh man, God bless Dan.
Yeah,
Well, anyway,
go
I'm
for
going
it.
to do this one really quick, and we'll get on to some other people. But it's great to hear all of you. You know, I can't wait to put eyes to face and hands to flesh when this thing is over. Reggie, Claudia, Dean, it's great to meet you. Andre, David, you're my man, and some new faces. So this goes out to everybody. I've traveled around this country from shore to shining shore. It really makes me wonder the things I heard and saw. Well, I saw the weary farmer plowing sodden loam, and I heard that auction hammer knocking down his home. But the banks are made of marble, guards at every door, and the vaults are filled with silver that the farmer sweated for. Well, I saw the woman standing idly by the door, and I heard the bosses saying, we got no work for you no more. And I saw the weary miner scrubbing coal dust from his back, and I heard his children crying, there's no coal to heat the shack, 'cause the banks are made with marble. There's guards at every door, and the vaults are filled with silver that the farmers sweated for. Brothers, sisters working throughout this mighty land, and I pray we'll get together, yes, together, make a stand, and we'll own those banks of marble with guards at every door, and the vaults will be filled with silver that the people have sweated for. Well, that seems like a long version up there, Andy. I did an abbreviated one.
That's fine. I'm showing some of the lyrics, and folks online can, again, everyone out there should hopefully be able to sing along with these. You can do that. There's unionsong.com. I didn't even know that existed, but everyone go to unionsong.com.
Yeah, I
and
will.
You can find the lyrics. I'm showing that to everyone right now. So the banks are made of marble. And Lee Rice, Storm King Music. We're right across the Hudson from Storm King, folks.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic, we, meaning I, and the folks in Beacon.
So it was Lee Rice. It says Les Rice in the folk singer's word.
It's Les Rice. Les Rice.
Okay. All right. Great.
What a great song.
Anyway, thanks for letting me
go back
sing
to the group here. Of course, man.
I'm going to mute.
So Peter in Virginia, what's on your musical mind this morning?
Well, I was really excited that you were doing a Labor Day thing. A friend of mine and I, for the last few years, have done a Songs of the Labor Movement kind of Vespers service at our Unitarian Church here in Fairfax, and so I've got a few of them in my repertoire. Love Union songs, and I sort of came to it through Billy Bragg, but. Someone asked last week for Union Maid by Woody Guthrie, so I thought maybe I'd do that. Seems like a worthy response to Karen and Melissa's song from earlier. Can you hear me okay now? There once was a Union Maid, she never was afraid of the goons and the ginks and the company finks and the deputy sheriffs who made the grade. She went to the Union Hall where a meeting it was called. When the boys would come up to her, this is what she'd say: "Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die." Union Maid was wise to the tricks of company spies. She'd take the dare, she didn't care. She'd always organize the guys. She always got her way when they'd strike for better pay. She showed her card to the National Guard, and this is what she'd say: "Oh, you can't scare me, sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. Sticking to the Union. I die." You women who want to be free, just take a tip from me. Break out of this mold we've all been sold. You gotta fight in history. The fight for women's rights with workers must unite. Like Mother Jones, bestir them bones to the front of every fight. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union. Oh, you can't scare me, I'm sticking to the Union. I'm sticking to the Union till the day I die.
I don't know how many times we've done that one. Here in Beacon, New York, thinking about Pete Seeger today a lot, as I'm sure many are. We those of us in the region here had the luck of singing with him for many, many, many years, just as another guy.
Yeah, what a privilege.
with that great, he had the best thing that Pete ever did, and you all know this, is this. Like halfway through a song,
right?
It's your turn, and he would do this. And there's a picture on my Twitter account of him doing that when I was lucky to be on stage with him with Steve Stan, and that circle of song expansion was a key part of his gestalt, not just him up there singing. So let's go around one more time here. I'd like to get another one from Patrick before you're done, and then for those who can stick on a little bit longer, this is anyone: Dean, Reggie, Claudia, David Ross from the first hour. If you can think of one more tune before we close out here. Labor Day Sunday. And in many parts of the country, it is a beautiful day. In many parts, it's a smoky day. But then we let people get on with their lives. This has been a wonderful morning so far for me. So, Patrick, you have another one in mind in your little window here? And the volume was a little hot on the last one, so just...
I think Patrick
sorry. Yeah, he was in the green room, and I didn't notice he was... There, Patrick, I was just... Okay, well, let's wait for Patrick. David Ross, do you have a short tune you could throw in?
Yeah, let's try one more, and I'm going to follow all of Claudia's sound man suggestions. I'm going to mute myself, my speaker, and let's just hope it works. This is a song by Mac Wiseman called These Hands. Give me a signal if it's working. These hands ain't the hands of a gentleman. These hands are calloused and old. These hands raise the family. These hands raise the home. Now these hands raise the praise the Lord. These hands won the heart of a loved one. And with hers, they were never alone. If these hands fill their task, then what more could one ask? For these fingers have worked to the bone. Now don't try to judge me by what you'd like me to be, for my life ain't been much success. While some people have power, still they grieve, while these hands brought me happiness. Now I'm tired and I'm old, and I ain't got much gold. Maybe things ain't been all that I planned. God above, hear my plea. When it's time to judge me, take a look at these hard-working hands. Now I'm tired and I'm old, and I ain't got much gold. Maybe things ain't been all that I planned. God above, hear my plea. When it's time to judge me, take a look at these hard-working hands.
Nice.
And did it work? Could you hear it better that time?
That's good. We'll work.
Well, Claudia, did your little
We'll work
trick
on it.
make a difference? I clicked that box that you said to click.
It's more basic than that. We'll work on it.
Weird.
No,
Yeah,
no
David,
problem.
I'll just jump in. I'll come over this week and really get you dialed in, okay?
Well, whatever we can do. Happy to
Yeah.
be here with all you guys.
And you. And there is an echo again, too. That's another. There we go, back in echo mode. Claudia, do you have another tune to offer from the heat of the South before we wrap?
I do, but I see that Reggie said he has to go in 5 minutes.
I missed that.
I will.
And Andre, are you Reggie? Let's go with Reggie from up in the what are those mountains again? The Heldenbergs, the Heisenbergs.
That's a whole nother conversation, isn't it?
I thought he said he was hovering over the Catskills. I thought he was over the Catskills, and I pictured him in this little cabin just kind of hovering.
Somewhere over the Catskills. It's the Helderbergs.
Okay. Not the Hindenburg.
Oh, well, there are times. Well, you know. Yeah, I have this song that some of the work that we'll be doing over the next 45 or 50 or whatever days to get people to vote. So this is a song about our job, not only about voting in November, but all of the work that we're going to have to do regardless of what happens on November 3rd. So it's called Let's Meet Up Early. Coming, it won't be easy. I wanna open your eyes. We got a hard fight coming. Let's meet up early in the morning. We got a hard fight coming. It ain't no secret. Don't try to act surprised. We got a hard pain, there might be rain. I heard some thunder, so there ain't no doubt. There will be words spoken in tones that will hurt your feelings. We got a hard fight coming. This won't be easy. I wanna open your eyes. We got a hard fight coming. Let's meet up early in the morning. We got a hard fight coming. It ain't no secret. Am I gonna wear a disguise? We got a hard fight coming. Let's meet up early in the morning. If I were you, I would wear blue. Let's keep the colors to a minimum. Try not to shout. When things are rough, we might slide right by 'em. I wanna open your eyes. We got a hard fight coming. Speed up early in the morning. Nothing is what it seems. We can still fight harder when we keep our eyes set on that dream. We got a hard fight coming. This won't be easy. You might wanna open your eyes. We got a hard fight coming. Speed up early in the morning. We got a hard fight coming. This is a warning. Don't try to act surprised. We got a hard fight coming. Let's meet up early in the morning. Let's meet up early in the morning. Let's meet up early in the morning. Let's meet up early in the morning.
Yeah. Very nice.
Blessings all.
Very nice. Blessings to you, man. We do have
Yeah,
a
we
hard
do.
fight. And being early definitely matters. Like more than ever. And as Michelle Obama said, pack a lunch, a dinner, comfortable shoes.
and a snack. Hey,
Yep.
be well all.
Yeah,
Great to see you.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Great to see you again, as always. You take care. So, Claudia, you said we all have to kind of get on with the day, but I'd love to get one more tune from you in here, too.
Yeah.
Michael Berman is liking this
muted.
from way out west in L.A.
Yeah, I have. I noticed some people. I started a watch party, and I got friends in Nashville and Florida.
That's
listening,
great.
So yeah, all over. Yeah.
I have
it's
to
nice.
try those.
Thank you. Thanks
So
for
you
having
can set
me.
up a watch party and then let it just roll? How does that work? I still haven't
It
had time
just
to figure that
rolls,
out.
and then you can exit out of it, and you can just say, stay in, and then you can go back to the other one. Yeah, you can
Cool.
set them up all over the place. I've got a show this afternoon with Karen Oliver. I'm hosting, and an artist here from Austin named Scott Martin at 3 our time, and I get to be the producer like you are. But yeah,
All right.
it'll be fun. So anyway, this one is I know we're all a little bit older. It happens. But this is about younger people. It's one of my songs. It's called Dreamers. She has walked through desert sands, huddled down inside a truck, clutching at her mama's hands, both praying for a little luck. Crawling underneath barbed wire, he was barely 3 years old. Daddy carried him for miles, not a peep, just like he was told. Dreamers, they have lived here
lifetime in this land they call home. All of their school days and every friend's face are from this place. The only life they've known, growing up between two worlds, homework, friends, and football games, knowing just one traffic stop would leave her life forever changed. Go to college, find a job, serve your country, make your way. Choices that he cannot make when it's a fight just to remain. Dreamers, they have lived here all their lifetime. This country is their home, all of their school days and every friend's face are from this place. The only life they've known, for into the land where they were born. Could it be the dreams they share are big enough for us all? For us all. Dreamers, they have lived here all their lifetime. This country is their home, all of their school days and every friend's face are from this place. The only life they've known.
Thanks, guys.
Just spectacular.
Oh, Claudia.
And a beautiful rendition. And Claudia, the audio and everything on that just now was just pristine and wonderful.
Thank you. It's that little Yeti blue Zoom,
Beautiful.
blue Yeti microphone. Yeah,
I guess we'll all have to do the Blue Yeti thing.
they work.
That was just something.
for Zoom and for StreamYard because they're USB, so they have an interface. So
Wow.
the nerdy part.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you. It's so great
Dean-
to join you guys today.
Yeah. So Dean, a climate scientist, Harold Brooks, who's he studies everything from tornadoes to severe weather around the world. He says, I can't believe I missed Dean Friedman was going to be on with this stuff. I was in Cambridge University in 1979-80. A friend from Larchmont remembered you can let down your hair as a real life event. Anyway, he's a big fan. He's very excited that this is on Twitter. He's very excited that you're here. Do you have a quick tune to add before we close out? We're past the noon hour, but I said we could go a little longer before we close.
Sure, I'm going to scramble over here to
And
the
then
keyboard.
David Ross. Okay. Cool. Ooh. I kind of like that.
Well, actually, that might not be the case now that you mention it.
Scrambled
Whatever
is the
happened
word.
is it's very scrambled for the moment. It's kind of, it's sort of like you're going to a new dimension. Whoop, did I lose David Ross? Oh, that's really cool. Sorry. It's very weird, but cool. It's coming back. There you are. You're back.
I'll tilt like this. Did you want a song for me?
I was hoping, maybe Harold Brooks out there is listening somewhere inside a tornado. And
Sure. Let me scramble over this way. Can you hear that keyboard okay?
Sounds good. Yep.
Sorry.
It's okay. Your place is like a magical mystery tour, man. You got all kinds of gadgets and
Yes, I want to go there.
It is an adventure.
Peak skill.
Well, okay, so this is a. This is a kind of a hopeful song. I just wanna go to the movies, meet up with a bunch of my friends, buy a box of Skittles, find some good seats in the middle, and watch till the credits roll to the end. Then maybe stop at the diner, a burger with some fries and a Coke, some pie for dessert. Couldn't hurt, the service so slow it's a joke. Drop some change in the jukebox, the Beach Boys, California girls. I wish I could get back to a halfway normal world. Take me out to the ball game, doesn't seem like too much to ask. A diamond oasis, players are running the bases, the catcher is wearing a mask. We'll all root for the home team, we'll fill up on peanuts and beer, we'll yell at the umpire and tell him to retire, and think of folks that couldn't be here. And on the mound, the pitcher, a southpaw, his curveball will be hurled. I wish I could get back to a halfway normal world. I wish we could get back to a halfway normal world. I'm gonna throw a big party, invite everybody I know. We'll kibitz and mingle, I'll serve pretzels and Pringles. We'll sit side by side and toe to toe. We'll lose ourselves in deep conversation. We'll play lots of silly games. We'll laugh and we'll smile, and then after a while, we'll barely remember our names. And we'll all wind up in the kitchen at the counter, the tablecloth unfurled. I wish I could get back to a halfway normal world. I wish we could get back to a halfway normal world.
Ah. Dean, written in that
man, oh man.
Wow. Perfect
I think
words.
that's our capper for today. I mean,
Dean.
we could go on a little bit, but wow, what a great tune.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
When did you write that?
Years ago. No, yeah.
No.
Recently.
Yeah, well, right. Just, a couple of days ago, way back in March, a friend of mine remembered that I had said every day feels like March 35th.
Yeah.
Like
It does.
we're sort of stuck in time, but moving fast forward through time at the same time. Man, I can't wait to tweet that out. All of you listening, remember these tunes get archived right away, this whole conversation. And on some of these platforms like YouTube and Periscope, you can kind of pick a moment and then tweet that or Facebook that thing out and around. So you could take a song and just say, hey, here's a great tune. So I hope everyone's sharing this stuff, and we'll be back every Sunday, of course.
Yeah.
Wow. And this
and
week I'm
also-
skipping my Monday one. Wednesday and Friday we'll be back into our groove with the regular news coverage and conversations about solutions.
Mondays that was great, Andy.
So
I just wanted to say one quick thing in Labor
Yeah.
Day in deference to our paying student loan debt. So that's a whole other thing. So I had written a parody, and I'll roll it into next week for you guys. Maybe I'll run it by you guys, and somebody can help me. But wonderful to meet you all, Dean. An honor.
Pleasure,
everybody.
man. And thanks for
Yeah.
having us all, Andy.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
Andy, thank
thanks
you.
for all
It's a
being
huge honor
here.
to be here.
Yeah.
It's an honor to have you. I was going to close out with a recorded version of one of my tunes, A Very Fine Line, just because
Yeah.
it feels like we need that too.
Yes.
Whoops, hold on 1 second. And if you have anything happening the next couple of days, just right now, just give a little shout out, or any final thoughts from any of you on the state of the world or where we go from here. That'd be great. And while I'm setting up this closing tune that just came to mind.
I have a show this afternoon that's streaming on my Facebook and YouTube page, and also on a couple other places. But that's at 3 Central, so 4 Eastern. But Dean, that's a wonderful tune. Have you recorded it yet, or put it up on YouTube
Not yet.
anywhere? Yeah.
But that's my job for the next few months.
I'd love to
You
learn
might
it.
just
'cause
have a
it's-
hit
it's
on
a
your
good
hands
one.
there.
Yeah, no, that's one that I
Yeah.
think a lot of other artists would like to cover as well. So
I agree. Get it up
Oh,
there
it's
quickly.
great. Yeah. It reminds me of Marcy and Zena. I don't know if you know who they are, but Zena Goldrich, who are writing songs out in the city. Just really, really well done lyrics. I could see the pretzels and Pringles spewing.
I love that. And baseball, we all know that feeling of these
If
things.
you're willing to share the lyrics and chords with us, I'd love to start learning it myself.
Of course,
Yeah.
sure.
Very
I'll
cool.
send it to Andy.
And Pete, yeah, it's really nice to meet you too.
Yeah, it was
Likewise.
great.
We get to meet.
Likewise.
So hold on, here we go. So everybody can listen in a little bit. I have to hit the share audio button or I'll be very frustrated. Okay, hold on. And it's a very fine line between winning and losing. A very fine line between living and dying. A very fine line between loving and leaving. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. Well, 5 out of 6 lotto numbers won't win you a dime. If that driver ahead is a nut, you may soon be flying. Your girl's out the door if you say right things at the wrong time. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. It's a very fine line that you've got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. It's a very fine line that you've got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. A very fine line. It's a very fine line between loony and sane. A very fine line between a loss and a gain. A very fine line between pleasure and pain. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. Well, people you think are a genius are this far from bent. President blows an election by 0.5%. We all know love hurts, but we try it again and again. We know that the line between love and despair is so thin. It's a very fine line that you got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. It's a very fine line that you got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life you spend walking a very fine line. A very fine line. very fine line. Winning and losing,
Very fine line.
living and dying,
Very fine line.
loving and leaving,
Very fine line.
loony and sane,
Very fine line.
loss and a gain,
Very fine line.
pleasure and pain.
Very fine line.
It's a very fine line that you got to walk. Gotta watch every word when you make small talk. Gotta watch every step or you'll find yourself crazy and crying. Most of your life is spent walking a very fine line. A very fine line. A very fine line. A very fine line.
It was great to have you on all today.
A very fine line.
I think I can talk over it.
A very fine line.
This election will be a very fine line.
A very fine line.
So that's a wrap for today's Sustain What? Sunday Song Swap. Thank you all for being here today. It was great to have you and everyone else who came earlier.
Thanks for having us.
Just there's this boilerplatey statement I like to read at the very end because I'm glad I have a job.
Hey, everybody, stop clicking around.
Whoops.
I am in the
Get rid
woods
of that.
with.
Sustain What is a global online conversation identifying solutions to the complicated, shape-shifting, and epic challenges of our moment on this planet, the great acceleration we've been on, and the great pause we're in now. Prime focus is making sense of and getting the most out of the planet's fast-forward information environment. That's the one Earth system changing faster than the actual environment. The good news is it can do this. We can all connect from a distance. The bad news is it's full of noise, complexity, and it's new, and we don't really know how to use it yet as a species. This webcast is produced as part of my work building Columbia University's new Earth Institute initiative on communication and sustainability. The whole idea is to make information matter, especially for those who lack access to it. As soon as we're done, share the link you've been watching on with friends in circles far and wide. Keep track of the next episodes and send me a notes about what's on your mind. Look at the scroll at the bottom of the screen and you can get the idea of how to, although it's not there today. I'm easy to find. And be well, everybody, from a distance. Love your neighbor and get to it. Thank you all. Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Claudia, Peter, Patrick,
Take
as
care,
always.
everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.
We'll come back to it
Bye,
again
everyone.
soon.
Thanks,
Claudia,
Andy.
good luck this
Okay.
afternoon.
Oh,
And don't underestimate those week shows, Andy. They really, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they are great shows.
All right.
I forward them all over the place. So,
I appreciate that. All right. Take care, everybody.
all right, take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.